Welcome. Hello to my viewers, my friends, my followers, fans, haters, lurkers, anybody else who happens to watch my channel for whatever their reasons are, and I'm glad that you do watch. Hello and welcome. Today we will be focusing on content that pertains to the Capital Audiofest 2025. First point of order is sound check. Make sure you can hear me. Does this thing work? Test. That's the first bit of order. Every day that I turn on and plug this stuff in and start talking, I want to make sure that everything is working and tuned in and that kind of thing. So I will check on my own channel on the on my side. Let's see if it actually shows up. Does my live actually show up? It looks like Brightside Home Theater is alive right now too. That's kind of awkward. Check my. How is everybody doing today? Does everything sound good? Everything's fine. Everybody. It seems like everything's fine. I can never check my own videos. Why is that? Anyways, I trust you guys. If you say it's good, then it's good. How do? Trones has been here for a little bit. Thank you very much for joining. Yes, all working. Okay, cool. So, Capital Audio Fest 2025 is this coming weekend, and unfortunately, I will not be going to this show. A number of different things have happened in the last couple of months. Some of it being purchases, some of it being important financials that I had to sort out. A number of different decisions lined up that put me at let's just say a deficit for getting to Capital so quickly after Toronto Audio Fest, and also with the political atmosphere of the United States versus where I am in Canada, means that securing my travel plans was a little questionable. Let's just say that. So I won't be making it to this show, and blessed to all those who will be going to this show. A lot of my friends and peers in the industry are going. Much of my media friends and photography friends and everybody like that I know of is going to this show. And it is a really nice show from what I've seen of it in the last number of years. I wish I was going. I haven't been there yet. I've been to Expona twice. I've been to Florida once. Capital Audio Fest was the next one on my list to see, but it's only a month or less after Toronto Audio Fest, and a month gap is not a lot of time to plan anything. So this year, I'm not going. But I wanted to bring as much of it to the audience now ahead of time. If you're wondering about going, if you're in the area and you think about going, or if you can get there from anywhere else, then, at home listening through VPN, wow. Why VPN? You don't want them to know I'm listening to you? Good thing you aren't going. My boss is stuck in Florida due to flight issues. Yeah. And also the weather right now is pretty crazy. I know that everything has gotten cold, and I didn't make plans to be down there really because, there's a lot of stuff that was up in the air. No pun intended. It's a flying joke. So let's do this. Capital Audio Fest. We'll get through the content that I wanted to do, and then we'll do like a Q&A, questions, stuff like that afterwards. We can chat for about an hour. So there's the About Us. Welcome to Capital Audio Fest, East Coast favorite audio show. Who says it's the favorite? That's what I want to know. How do you, this is self-promotion, I understand that, but how can they say it's East Coast favorite? Florida's also on the East Coast. Florida's warmer this time of year. Anyways, I'm a nitpicking kind of person. I look at details like this because as much as we want to respect like advertising rights, there's like, if it's an industry and you make statements like that, I'm always looking at truth telling rather than sensationalizing. And when I see East Coast favorite audio show, I'm like wondering, did they do a census? Did the East Coast vote on this? Not to say that it isn't. I'm just saying, is there a document that shows that people on the East Coast voted and it came back, yeah? Such a dick. Anyways, started out in 2010. Very casual shows evolved in a well-organized, well-attended event that most everyone in the audio industry knows about. That I can agree with. Capital Audiofest, CAF, as it's shortly known, recognized as a fun, friendly, family-oriented show where you often see families strolling from room to room listening to music. That's true. That's happening more and more these days than ever at every show. Auditioning gear, browsing multiple bins of vinyl, CDs and accessories, the Atrium Marketplace, which is actually one of the cool things about the Atrium area in this hotel. It does look really cool, I got to admit. In the evenings, we have live music, bars, special performances, theater, local distilleries offering tastings. That's pretty cool too, local distilleries. I mean, we have a bunch of that in Toronto as well, but they're spaced out because the show is right beside the airport, and there's not a whole lot going on around the airport in this area. The Montreal show in Canada is a lot more fun to go to because it is sort of central to downtown, and the downtown area in Montreal is fantastic. So, so this is coming up. This is this weekend, 14th through 16th in November. Let's move on to who they have coming. And I'm going to, if anybody wants me to take a look or they don't know any of the companies that are showcasing, then pause me, like put your hand up, put some comments in. If you're watching and you can't comment, find a phone, find a tablet, find a laptop, stop watching on the TV and find something where you can add comments to the conversation. Be part of what's going on live rather than just letting me speak to you through a screen. Become part of the chat. VPN finishing work, queued up. Oh, okay. Personal stuff on a public forum, on a live show. All right. 2020 Evolution Systems. Don't know anything about them. There's a link to the web page, so that's pretty cool. 20th Century Records. That's interesting. 2WA Group. 7 Hertz. That's like a headphone thing, I think. Does that say audio realignment? Art? AVIC, of course. Look at this. 4 rooms. Ballroom 312. Eisenhower 725. Wow. AccuPhase. That's nice. Accor Acoustics up there with 3 rooms, displaying quite a bit. Acoustic Art. Advanced Paris has got a couple of new things out. AGD Productions has got 2 rooms. That's really nice to see, actually. AGD's really good stuff as well. Let me see. AIDAS cartridges. Airtight Japan. That's so funny. There's a joke buried in there, and I'm not going to explain it. Albedo Silver Cables, Alnick, Alma Music and Audio. That's pretty cool. They got 5 rooms. That's really cool. Alta Audio, 3 rooms. I wonder if they're displaying on their own. And yes, sir. Yes, you did. I understand. I am to blame asking questions of, but for anybody that's watching, who watches this after the fact, who comes through and actually says anything, this is what I wanted to do. Don't ever feel obligated to answer transparently on my stream, because this does go live onto YouTube for the public. So obviously, anything that goes up on the screen or whatever otherwise should not be private. Just saying. I know that's my asking and answering. Just want to be sure that everybody's aware. Altic Lansing that's a name that's right out of the history books. Can I get this to move over? This way. That's a little bit better. Yeah. American Sound, I think American Sound, I think that's a company from up here. I might get into that later on. I think there's a connection with that one. Amped America, that's amplifiers that our buddy Digital Don AV has been talking about. Says he has a couple in-house that he really likes. Yeah, Alltech Lansing. Back from the 80s with a vengeance. You know that nostalgia sells these days. Amphion is a really, really great brand. I like Amphion speakers, monitors. They have some really good tech. On Analog Productions, and Boisson is going to be there. That's cool. Ansys with the 4 rooms. That's kind of... They could have put Audio Group Denmark and just not had that many tiles because it's all the same group. Anthem is going to be there. That's crazy. They're finally getting out to audio shows. I think I saw them at Montreal last year. They brought out the Martin Logans. They brought out Golden Ear. They brought out Paradigm. They finally hit the shows for people to see what they're doing. That's really cool. I was still hoping to borrow and like demo some stuff, given that company is like 20 minutes away from me, and I still, as it goes, most people will say that their media team or whomever just never answers. So I'm still waiting, and I'm down the street. I could pick up speakers in an hour. Booth 24 and 28. What's that? 24 and 28. As the record turns, Asylum Rhino. What is this? What are we looking at here? Rhino Records. Arion Audio. Artesian Audio. Aratai. Aratai is a good brand. I like Aratai. That's these speakers with the really cool waveguide on top of the speaker and a backfiring woofer and then 3-way towers. Really cool stuff. What else is in here? ATC, Athena, Atlantic 75. No idea what that is. Atmosphere, that's really cool. Atmosphere, and they make it a circle. That's clever. Audio Flight, really good electronics. See, Audio Group Denmark, there we go. In one of the rooms, but meanwhile they put Avik and Ansys in all the other rooms. I guess they want to be specific just in case, there's any confusion as to what's being used in each of the rooms. And maybe it's not their own room, but it would have to be. I don't think I've seen... in Toronto, EQ Audio Room used the Boris and Audio Group Denmark stuff mixed with a bunch of other things. Same with Win Audio. So here in Canada, they don't have their own rooms. They support other dealers. But at Capital, they're hosting their own room. And Expona, the same thing. Unless you want to include Next Level Hi-Fi, which typically displays with them. Audience, cables, and accessories. Audio Note UK. I love the guys at Audio Note UK. Everybody that represents them. Always great hanging out and listening to different music. So I heard about Audio Origami, but forgot the deets. Where is that? Am I scrolling too slow? Or Audio Origami. Here, let's check it out. That looks like a pretty cool tone arm. Pure Audio? Is that Pure Fidelity turntables? So Audio Origami sounds like a shop. Yeah, it could be like a shop. Let's check the menu. Tone arms, tone arm upgrades, Pure Fidelity turntables, dealers, repair. Yeah, so it seems like a resource for turntable tech. Let me see. Audio research. Probably audio research. The Sage Bamboo Room, Jefferson Room, Audio Technica. Audio Lab, that's nice to see. Audio Quest is probably, look at this. Audio Quest is in like 7 rooms. That's not surprised. Audiophile Junkie custom server. So that's the Bach system. Probably. That's crazy. He's hosting a room. R-Ender is in 5 or 6 rooms. Axis is in one of the rooms, the Eisenhower room. See, Axis speakers, I am really, really curious about this stuff. I really want to hear the speakers. I'm really, really tempted to ask my local dealers if I could borrow a pair of the speakers. I've never heard these speakers anywhere. They've always been on static display, and no one's been playing them in any room. They always play the more expensive stuff. And I've never, Steve Guttenberg did a review on them. I haven't seen anybody else review them yet, so I was anxious to get my hands on them. Even at 8,000 a pair Canadian, really interesting for towers like this, because I want to hear how the technology trickles down. They're not the same drivers or tweeter, roughly the same idea in terms of, the tilted tower, the narrow back cabinet, the ports are the same idea, but everything's been trickled down to be less expensive. So I'm super curious. But I have never heard them play, even like anybody at a show talking about them. So I'll have to see. Badass, that's funny. Bach, there it is. Bach SP. Bellison, Benchmark. Benchmark is in a few rooms. That's cool. Berkeley Audio, Black Cat. That's really cool. Blue Note Records. That's pretty cool. Borison's in 3 rooms. 3 of those rooms. I guess the Axis is going to be in the other room. They might have multiple systems. Burmister's in a lot of these rooms. Boulder Amplifiers is making an appearance. BMG Rights Management, US and UK. Yes. Someone go into this room and tell them to relax on copyright for videos. Jesus. They need to stop worrying about people taking... Like, if I have music on in the background, it's not... No one's stealing the music or listening to me to listen to music in the background. Curious about avant-garde stuff? Yeah, avant-garde is very interesting. There's a room here... Well, there's a dealer up here that has them, Ange's Corner, or American Sound of Canada, the one that I was hinting at earlier. Yeah, BMG, exactly. The copyright, I don't know what it is about like record labels. I don't see how any of their chasing down like 7 to 10 seconds of sound in a video and claiming copyright. Like, it's not the whole song. It's not even a very significant portion of a song. But still they have to ruin everything and like mute it or claim it or get people in trouble just because of, I don't know. I don't get it. I know how it is if somebody was using a complete piece of work and making money from it, but that's not the case with music. I'm not doing a complete DJ set sometimes. I'm just sampling 30 or so seconds of a song, and they're like, nope, yoink. So somebody go there and talk to BMG Rights. Just like tell them to relax. Especially in the audio industry, like you should get whitelisted if you're doing hi-fi audio. It's part of the reason why people listen to music in the first place. If it wasn't for the hi-fi industry and the media and the sales and the dealers, then nobody would be listening to the freaking music they have copyright over. It makes sense that they just relax, at least for us. Anyways, I'm ranting. You guys can barely see my face down here in the corner. Cambridge Audio, Capitol Music Group Records, Capitol Records. There's another music label that can get some heat. Cardis Audio's helping in a number of rooms. Very cool. Cash for Music. That's funny. Interesting. I wonder if this is just like a sales, like they're going to be trying to sell records there. Capitol Music and Group. Interesting. Charney Audio. Chang Lightspeed Audio. Chesky Audio. I hope he's got something new this year. That'll be amazing if he brings something new. Chasing the Dragon. Yeah, we can all relate to that. Chord Electronics. Christie Digital projectors are going to be there. Interesting. Classic audio speakers. We could be at this for a while. Convergent Audio Technology, CAT. Crystal Cables, that's nice. Credo, Craft Records, a lot of record sales. So that Atrium Marketplace is going to be rammed. Very, very cool. I am going to kind of skip through this. Otherwise, we're going to be here for like hours. DVLA, Diptyque is going to be there. Dr. Vinyl, Doshi, Dual, DS Audio. I mean, you guys can check this out on the website too. I'm just going through it to see if there's anything like interesting or something that stands out. Where do we see Cinnamon? There. Yeah, so hold on. So Cinnamon, perfect season on display. Yeah. And they make, what is that? That looks like subwoofers. I don't know what the hell that is. That's the DAC that looks like stone. It's very interesting looking. Loudspeakers. They make loudspeakers. Open baffle. I am about to get my absolute, I'm gonna call it my audio cherry popped with open baffle speakers. Now I've heard some of them at shows before, and I was just at Toronto Audiofest and listened to the Macarias by Mako Acoustics, and it is confirmed. I spoke with them today that we're gonna do the full install in my space over this weekend. So next week, maybe Sunday, I don't know. It depends on how this week goes. But next weekend, I should have demos of the Macarias open baffle speakers in my room. The problem with that is my KEF R11s are supposed to be delivered this Thursday. So I'm going to have them for all of 2 days. And I might not even unbox them because the other ones are supposed to go in place first. So kind of wild. There's too much stuff going on right now where I don't have, and I still don't have amplifiers. I haven't been able to borrow or buy or receive amplifiers from any company. I've got powered bookshelves out here, and it doesn't work with my full system. So I'm looking for amplifiers so I can use my passive speakers. I guess while the Mako speakers are in my system, I can use the Buckeyes in my computer system while the Macarias are in the other room, because I'm also borrowing the Whammerdyne amplifiers. So that should be interesting. And here's the reason why I don't want these bookshelves out here. I was just listening to music in the background at a low level, and they just turned off automatically because the signal is too low. I don't know how to fix that, and that's why I don't want them out here anymore. Passive speakers still have their advantages. It's either that or the amplifier section in this system needs to change. So anyways, that's the Cinnamon. This is kind of what they're known for, is this really weird stone-looking DAC. Network transport, and they all have, there's a DAC, phonostage, converter, transformer, anyways, bunch of stuff. Back to the list. DVLA, Elite, Eminence, EMM Labs, really good stuff. I've heard quite a bit about them. Also at their at Expona, they had some really, really great amps and speakers on display. So that should be very special. Estalon in 2 rooms, that's really cool. I wish I could be down there to experience those again. Ex Machina. Now this one, I did talk about these guys more recently. Oh, it's a broken link. I should let them know that the link for this webpage is broken. That's weird. But anyways, I talked to some of their guys in the media the other day, and they were talking about maybe letting me borrow some of these. Now I have to follow up with them to find out if I can do that. They are powered speakers, so everything I was just saying about powered speakers, hopefully they're different. They are studio monitors, so they're meant to be played as a tool, not really music listening. but I want to hear them because they've been like really sought after for a long time. So lots of really cool technology in them as well. So I'm hoping that I can still borrow them. We'll see what happens. Fern and Robbie, they actually have a Spotify playlist that's I just saved right now. So songs that they have requested or curated for Capital Audiofest. Pretty interesting. I'll share the link afterwards. Actually, no, I can share it now in chat if you guys want. I know it's Spotify, but whatever. Copy the link. Here, I'll put the link for their playlist. Should be able to. There we go. So the link is in chat. If you can click the link, then follow that and you'll get to the Fern and Robbie playlist. Fink Team, cool, very good speakers. Franco Serbalin, hopefully there's something new from them. That would be really cool too. Gershman Acoustics have the Symphoria, the new speaker. Gestalt Fine Audio, Geshelli Labs, awesome to see them on display down there as well. I know that they have new monoblocks, and I'm wondering if the Fidelity Imports guys are going to be representing those. Gold Note, Golden Ears going to be on. Gigawatt, oh my God, it's the gigawatts. Gramophone, that's cool. I just saw that David Solomon was on his way down there, so nice to see. Grim Audio in 7 rooms or whatnot. That's really cool. Griffin Audio just released something new, apparently. I saw in the news. So check out or keep your eyes out for this one. GTT Audio, I've heard of. I think that's a local shop. 88 miles per hour at 21 gigawatts. Careful now. We're going to call out Jay-Z. Harbeth is going to make an appearance. Heed Audio, which is a different one from the one I'm... Is it 30 years of that one? Interesting. Heed Audio, I think, if I'm thinking of the same one, then they're engineers that came from Adam Audio. Not really sure. It looks a little bit different in this photo, but I think it's the same group. High End by Oz, always a great room. 2 rooms, apparently. House of Stereo, that's a dealer or distributor. Impulse, lots of stuff in here. Look at this. Inuos in many, many rooms. ISO Acoustics should be in a lot more rooms than just that. JMF Audio, Joseph Audio, great name. Gotta love that. Kaleidoscape. So that means Kaleidoscape is in a number of rooms. So that means there is going to be some visuals. That's interesting. Kimber Cable in a bunch of rooms. That's also nice to see. Cardis and many of the other ones. Kubla Sosna? Kubala Sosna? I don't know what that is. Is that cables? It's probably cables, right? It looks like cables. Yeah, it's a cables. Could be a sales place too, because it looks like they have lots of different connectors and items. Products. Cables, cable type, guitar and mic. Yeah, it looks like cables. All right. Lampizator. Is everybody still awake out there? Is this fun for anybody? This is Capital Audiofest 2025 exhibitor list. Oh my goodness. Exhibitor list that we're browsing through here. Lee Shelley Photography. Shout out to Lee. Always some really great work. Probably going to get some exclusives at the show. That's such a smart idea, is to show up, have a room, and then have a place that you can bring product back to and get like product photography on the scene. So much better than lugging your stuff all over the show. Lynn is going to be there. That's really cool. Lynn Sol for headphones. Lone Mountain Audio distributor or dealer. Luxman, Luxury Audio Group, another dealer or distributor. M101 makes some really fantastic cables. Mad VR is going to be in a number of rooms, so that 100% they're going to have theaters there. Magnapan, Manly Labs, nice stuff. Martin speakers. Lots of stuff in here. Meitner is going to be there. MC Audio Tech, fantastic speakers as well. I believe their transmission line and then open back panel, tweeter, and mid-range. Really fascinating stuff. The last time I remember hearing these was Florida. Amazing technology. Larry's here. What's up? Thank you for being here. Like, huh? What? Hold on. Like, I'm here. What's up? What's up? Morel Audio, Meze Audio, Mitchell. Is it Mitchell? Mishi is going to be there in 2 rooms. Wow. Good to see. MK Audio, Mobile Fidelity, Modrite, good amps, really cool amps there. Monitor Audio, which I've been enjoying their what's it called? Their Studio 89s recently. Oh my God. This guy actually watches my stream. That's amazing. What's up, dude? Hopefully everything's going well. Getting into that cold, snowy, windy season. Hopefully everything's cool down there. Mark, where did I miss over something? Mark, where's that? Mad VR. Did I go too fast? Did I miss something? Martin. No, you're teasing me. Antique stuff. Yeah, I know, because you're old. Like Mission. You like Mission stuff. Missionary style. I'm playing. Relax. I'm relaxed. We're still on track over here. Yeah. Modrite, Mojo, Moon by Sim Audio. Some amazing stuff there, too. They're 370 all in one unit. Pretty cool. I actually really wish I could borrow some Moon audio too, like just to see what the other, like it's Canadian high end is basically what it is, right up there with like Bryston stuff. But I don't think Bryston would be considered high end. So yeah, it's just Moon audio is a little bit outside my reach. Maybe one of these days I can try some stuff out if I get in close with the right dealers. I am going to be working with a local dealer soon, like a new dealer that I've known of them, but they reached out to me and they suggested some collaboration. So we'll see what happens. Next Level Hi-Fi represented in only one room. Interesting. That's the smaller room in the upstairs. The O Audio, the Denmark O Audio. Now listen here. That's really cool. Old Man Vinyl. That's my speed. Orchard Audio. So Orchard Audio is going to be partnering with SVS in one of their rooms. I don't know which one it is. If it's going to be the bamboo room, even hotel. Is it going to be a different hotel? But one of the rooms is going to be partnered with SVS. Now, I actually really wish I could afford another set of amps. These ones. Again, speaking of, these are Lee Shelley's photos. They're just a little bit, for what I'm getting, these are a little bit more than I want to spend. They're worth it, in my opinion. But this is SVS and Orchard Audio are doing Atmos system. Yeah. It's going to be like 11 or 12 amps or whatever it is that I saw Leo posted the other day that he's bringing a whole truck full of amps. So yeah, the new Star Crimson 25 monos have a higher switching speed. GANFET switching speed. So the damping factor is better. There's improved bass. Filters, modular feedback circuitry. So like it is a better amp. So I'm curious and interested about these ones, even if like the ones that I really want are the bigger boys. More power, more capacitance, higher powered, and you know what I mean? This is the one that I actually really want. So I just, for double the price, I don't know that I really need that, especially for where I'm putting it. But anyways, I wish him well. I wish Leo, and SVS, I'm sure that they're going to knock it out of the park. Should be an amazing room. Overtone, Paradigm, Parasound, which I'm still curious about. Pathos Acoustics, Italian brand. Perlisten in a number of rooms. That's awesome to see as well. I know they've got their A series out now. Perfect 8. So Perfect 8, exhibitor, Ypsilon? Hold on. Let me go back. Oh no, it goes to the top. Are you kidding? What a bullshit web page this is. Fuck. We'll get there. You guys just hang on for a minute. You know what it is. All right. See, we're there. I'm going to... These speakers. This is Perfect 8. The most transparent speakers you'll ever hear. You get it? Yeah, it was pretty lame. It's a bad joke. It's not the first time that joke's been made either. So, yeah, they are glass cabinets with opposing woofers, tweeter on the front, mid-ranges on the side. Some really good drivers. They look like Seos drivers. Really, really cool stuff. Yes, exactly. I deserve all the slapping of the foreheads for that one. That was a bad joke. Had to do it, though. That's the whole point of this. Potpourri Acoustics in a couple of rooms, so that means Audiophile Junkie's probably going to be there. And I think I actually saw a room of his. Prima Luna, PS Audio in one of the rooms, Pure Fidelity, turntables in a couple of rooms, Q Acoustics, Quadraspire, don't know much about them, cool name. Rido Acoustics, nice to see again. Rel is going to be in some rooms. That's cool. Rhythm speakers. This is something that I saw Angie posting about earlier. So that's nice. Those are interesting speakers to see. Rotel has got a new integrated amp out. I think it's the DR5 or DX5. It's like a small desktop headphone amp, speaker amp, integrated, all that kind of stuff in one unit. Really, really cool. Apparently the engineering in it is more Michi than it is Rotel. So that's an interesting way to get some sound on your desk. I'm actually I was thinking about it for my whole computer system here, but I already have Rotel in the room, preamp. Don't know if I want another one out here. Maybe. I mean, it suits all of my needs. The streaming, all that stuff all in one. SB Acoustics, that should be an interesting room. Shit Audio, Scott Walker Rooms hosting, that's really cool. PS Audio, I think Paul said himself is not going, but someone will be there. Yeah, well, I mean, if their stuff is showing up, then someone will be along to showcase their stuff, I assume. Unless it's a whole other group using their speakers. Small green computer, that's got to be like a audio server. Siltech cables, Simco Audio, don't know anything about that. SME turntables, really, really cool. Solid Steel, Solid Tech, that's like a lot of stands. Songer Audio, SA, interesting. Sonar Audio, Soda turntables. I'm calling off stuff that I know, but I'm also looking for anything that's a little bit new. Spendor, cool. Really high on the nostalgia list lately. I've seen a bunch of that stuff come through. SPL Audio. Now, this is a brand that does like studio stuff, studio amps, studio preamps, all that kind of thing. I'm really interested to find out about the brand. If I can borrow some locally, I'd like to test them out against some other gear that I have. just, I mean, for the experience and to talk about kind of like how they compare to other known brands, because SPL is not that well known. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know, but I think it's more niche for like the guys that are into studio stuff. So Songer do those wood open baffle field coil speakers. So is that like the not Treehouse? Treehouse makes some too. You know, like the Shelly Labs had them in Florida. But Songer does the other ones. Let's see. Go up, up, up. Where did I see them? It was right here. Where did it go? Tell me I'm blind. Right here. Derp. Songer Audio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It looks like they have tube amps. Looks like a full range in a cabinet. Nova field coil driver. Interesting. Design and materials. Looks really, really fancy. Oh, that suspension. Oh, now I know. Thank you, Larry, for calling that out. These are super, super interesting. Yeah, it's like a work of art. Didn't look like open baffle in that one. But this is phase perfect. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is the open baffle one. Close all these tabs. I think I'm navigating through this pretty good. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm about to get I'm about to get a face full of open baffle tech very soon, this weekend. I'm a little excited and nervous about it too, because I need to make space enough for the Mako speakers to fit in my room. And y'all know that my room isn't exactly that big. My max distance from listening to the speakers is about 8 feet. And they're going to be about 8 feet apart. So it is a kind of ideal triangle, but I'm playing with whether it should be closer to the front wall, or moving them out and changing them around a little bit. And then open baffle, it's going to create this sort of cardioid almost pattern, but with everything so close together. I mean, Armando at Mako said that it should be fine. The way that they work should be fine. So we're going to tweak them. They're going to come and help me install them, which I don't blame them. Quite expensive set of speakers. I think they're 12 grand or 13 for a base pair. And then the amps and everything else that are going along with it. I totally understand that they would want to come and get their hands on it, set it up, see how everything's going to go. Like, totally understandable. The thing about where I'm coming from now is I have to make space in here for more than one person, which is normally just me. And then the other thing is I want to make sure that my house looks a little bit tidy. So I have to clean up more stuff in house before anybody gets here. I'm like, son of a God, why did I agree to that? Let's see. Let's keep scrolling. There's a couple more pages here, then we'll do some questions. There's SVS in those rooms. Straight wire storm audio. So they're going, a lot of people going to the video stuff. That's really cool. SW1X designs in a number of rooms. They're an amplifier design tech, synergistic research, Tyco, T plus A, not T and A. I'm sure there'll be T and A there, but that'll be at the after party. Techniques or technics, however you want to call it. The listening room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The listening room. Is that what I think it is? The listening room? Let me just check it out. Audio system of distinction. The listening room is no, it's not the same thing I was thinking of. The listening room seems like a dealership. So that's really cool. Theoretical applied physics. That's cool. Audio, headphones, Thrax. I saw Stax show up here. That's pretty cool. Stax has got some awesome headphones. These speakers shut off again. Son of a bitch. That's so annoying. God damn it. So I guess maybe you guys heard that. That was background music, and it's so low that the input signal detection on the amplifiers on the back of my powered speakers like freak out. And then when the signal clicks back in again, the amps like freak out and have like this on off sort of like pop to them. I don't understand what's going on there. They've got to go. They're not functioning the way I need them to function in this system. Totem Acoustics, Tidal Audio, they've got some great speakers as well. Taurus Power Solutions, really, really cool. I meant to email them. Shit. I talked to somebody online the other day, and they're like, yeah, email us. This is, somebody suggested that I use that to get rid of my noise issue, and I never reached back out to them, so oops. Trilogy Audio Systems, I think they make cartridges. No, Trilogy makes amplifier systems. Altitudo Audio had a pair of their hybrid amps at Toronto Audio Fest just recently. What else? Triplanar tone arm. Tributaries and Claris audio cables. Wow. Valve Audio Company, some really cool posts by them recently. Vandersteen, that's a nice old name for you. Via Blue cables in like 8-9 rooms. Vinny Rossi's room, very cool stuff. Very like elegant looking amplifiers and preamplifier stuff. I like Vinny's style. Very simple. Super, super heavy chassis though. Vitas Audio, amplifiers and electronics. Volti Audio. Von Schweikart is going to be there. Damn, I haven't seen Damon in like a while. VPI Industries, turntables in like 8-9 rooms. That's cool. WBT, Westminster Lab. I don't recognize some of these. Wilson Benesh, I recognize. Some cool stuff. Wire World, can't go wrong. If you want good cables, good quality at a good price, Wire World is nothing to laugh at. Wolf von Langa. These speakers, we're just at Toronto Audio Fest. Not these ones, but a different type of... No. Not those. Not those. Not those. Must be like a new... Yeah, this one. This bookshelf speaker. Now, this is not in English. But... what? 1133.4? It's essentially something similar to the Radiant Acoustics that I have, where it's a Purify driver, 6.5 facing forward, and then passive radiators on the side with an AMT tweeter. All the details would be on that web page, but that's really cool that they're going to be there. They sounded really good at Toronto, so I imagine they're going to sound great at Capital. YG Acoustics has got some new stuff out. They've got these blue speakers that they've been showing off. Really, really cool. Zoo Audio, Ellipson. Yeah, so that's about it for that. So let me just share the media guys that are going to be there. Stereophile, Twittering Machines, Enjoy the Music, Tracking Angle, Absolute Sound, Stereo Times, Part-Time Audiophile, Positive Feedback, Jay's Audio Lab, Future Audiophile, Safe and Sound, that's pretty cool, from Texas it looks like. Listening Chair, Howard Neller's project, Marshall House, Sound and Vision, that's really cool, big time. AKR Media, never heard of, but cool logo. Journal of Music, Copper, then Home Theater and Fidelity, Secrets of, awesome to see them. Audiophile style, audiophile junkie. Sounds like he's got a room plus some media stuff going on. Soundstage audio visual and integration specialist as a media partner. That's cool. And Audio Express as well. So be sure to follow out all the outlets, and you'll hear a lot more about what's going on at Capital, I'm sure. That's pretty much what I wanted to showcase in terms of what's going on at Capital. I didn't see anything like really special that's coming. Not to say that there isn't, it's just I didn't see it. There was a couple things posted on brands' Facebook pages. Let me see if I can actually call any of that up real quick, if it lets me in. Capital. If you guys have any questions about anything else that's going on, let me know now, and we'll try to answer some questions. So let me see. Put this one back up. So Capital Audiofest. This is the S1X Audio Designs. Really nice looking amps, industrial looking chassis. I like this kind of look. I'm not a really big fan of tubes, to be honest, because one, it's too damn hot. That's definitely the one thing about tubes, is it's just too hot for my space. Also, a lot of it's heavy and delicate. I would not want to break anything. So there's that. So that's the Spotify playlist that I linked. The live music and the after hours. A couple of really cool posts here from the event itself. Some of the guys joking around in room. It looks like our friends at VAC and Acora Acoustics here having some fun. Nice to see everybody out there having some fun setting up. It's hectic. Setup is crazy. Odyssey, Montrose room. So Odyssey Audio is going to have some stuff. What else? Von Schweikart new speakers are going to be there. There's the rhythm speakers I was talking about. Very interesting sort of design. So it's like a full range driver with a pair of horn-loaded woofers on the bottom. Pretty cool. And then SPL, this is that brand I was talking about. It's all kind of smaller stuff, but very focused on clean sound, because they're partly like studio mixing, studio recording equipment. Not necessarily, but their background is also in that level, so everything's going to be super clean. That's why I want to try it out. I've been after this sort of like reducing the sound or the noise background in all of my equipment, so I want to find stuff that's like super clean sounding and the lowest noise floor possible. So I want to try out SPL and see what happens. Yeah, lots of stuff here going on. Q Acoustics. Anyhow, I think that's enough. That's enough for me. That's almost an hour as is. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, you guys want to talk about what's coming up, anything that you've seen, we'll open the floor for any kinds of questions. I could use vinyl latte right now. Yeah, with some cinnamon sprinkled on it. 'Tis the season. I think the idea of this kind of like sudden cool down, or this Arctic blast that we've had, like, it was really interesting. I posted photos the other day. I was walking to work, and it snowed so much in this cold blast, so sort of early, because it's been mild up until recently, that we still had trees full of leaves. They were discolored, mind you, but there's still a lot of leaves on the trees. So it was covered in snow with leaves on it, and then it stopped snowing, and then the leaves fell on top of the snow. And it's not normal in my mind, in my mind's eye. I don't remember a time where I've seen a lot of that before. So it snowed before the leaves were all down. Pumpkin, yes, pumpkin latte. Blech. We don't want to go there. Yeah, I wish I could go to every show. The problem is affording the flights now, never mind flying anywhere in the US. You all know I don't want to talk about news on an audio channel, but it's a mess. For whatever the reasons are, we won't get into that. It's a mess. I don't imagine having a great time trying to fly anywhere right now. I mean, it's a short flight. It should only be one flight in and out, and I don't know, there's maybe some flights from our Canadian side, but it's a lot of problems right now. So yeah, also affording it. I mean, with my day job being what it is and trying to afford everything, I can't necessarily take time off from that, and then also trying to afford the difference in everything, like going to a show with the days off plus the flights plus the staying somewhere, like hotel costs. Hotel costs can be a whole other difference. I mean, if I get comped hotel costs, then it's kind of like break even. But then when I go there, I'm not making any money on anything. None of my videos make that much money. I'm not making anything from any of the companies to do the photography work. They're not buying any of the photos that I share. They're not paying me for doing any of the stuff on YouTube. So it's like, it's a lose-lose proposition. There's no support for me to go. So I don't really, I wish I could, because it's a lot of fun to talk with my friends about stuff, but it's a lose-lose financial thing for sure. Hello, I tripped on my Christmas tree and had to start over. It was not fun. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I could just see it. Just dee 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 dee. Oh, man. I mean, it's like, say, like if you're setting up a Christmas tree and you have cats, a lot of the times if you have cats, some of the decorations tie onto the tree a certain way so they don't fall off easily. But man, that sucks. I haven't hung decorations on a tree for so long. Actually, this is an interesting transition to an idea I had. You know how a lot of shows, the brands put like trees or plants beside their speakers? There's one particular brand that I can think of off the top of my head that does it a lot. I'm wondering, say, like if I got thin Christmas trees, like penciled Christmas trees, the narrow ones, and put them in my room, like beside the speakers. Could I do that like all year? Would that be a thing? Would you think that would look too crowded, too ugly, or would that be acceptable? I mean, I have lighting in my room already, so the trees don't need lights. But would that be weird, or would that be kind of cool? I mean, would anybody want to know how it sounds? You put your Christmas tree away? No. Adding more stuff and tripped on the power cord. Damn. Go with the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Yeah, it's like 4 branches. In my room, I don't know, because I mean, I want the size of the tree to work like diffusion against the wall. But I don't know if that's the way to go, because I mean, I'm not gonna get the classic sort of like IKEA bamboo trees that they all use at the shows. That's too on the nose. That's, and I'm not in a position where I'm going to get GIK or via acoustic panels. I mean, I know dealers and I know some of those shops have it, but I'm not in a position where they're just going to send me that stuff and set up in my room. Also, my room has already got stuff on the walls. I don't want to really mess around with it, take it off. Good evening. Just got some goodies from the States. The exchange rate is brutal. Yes, it is. I keep watching the prices change from week to week. Like, what the is going on? Holy shit. Can you imagine how the brands are dealing with it? Damn, it's crazy. Just get a mini cedar tree. Interesting. I actually imagine if I got like, here's the problem. I would love to get like bonsai style trees, but they're too short. You know what I mean? I did have an idea a while ago, which was to put katana swords, like horizontally placed katana swords on either side of the speakers, so it acted like some like differential distance diffraction. The problem is like you need to put a rack on the wall. I already have my wall treated. I could maybe do that because there's a way to put stands or standouts and then rest them. Anyways, it's too many ideas. I could use dowels to begin with. Oh God, look at this. Look at this. We're really maturing here. Yeah, I'm at a loss for where to go at this moment because I mean I'm still anticipating my speakers coming in and I've got to test them and play around with them and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. So the R11s will be here. Hold on, I'm going to share a window. Hold on. Yeah, so there you go. That's them. R11 Metas. Really, really nice, clean design. I really like how everything is just smooth. I was actually telling one of the guys, wouldn't it be really cool to like get 2 sets of towers and then swap these out with a black pair? Because you could get black woofers in a white tower and then put the white woofers in a black tower. Yeah, I just think the uniformity of their design is really cool. So I'm excited to see what they sound like in room. Should be really nice. I'm anticipating really good things. Yeah, so they'll be here Thursday, hopefully with no issues. Shipping companies better treat them very, very well. It's a very nice all white too, just a tiny bit of black. Yeah, so they're gonna fit into my room very well. They're gonna take to the color changes that I use in my room very well. They should photo well also because they're not gonna reflect like a mirror. So they should be nice in my room for that reason. I think the tweeter level might be a bit low for my use case. I'm going to put isoacoustics below them to bring them up about 2 inches. That should be okay. And if that's not enough, I might get an area like platter. So like, a 2x2 foot piece of whatever type of stone, level it off, and then put that in each side of the room to try and give myself a little more height from the floor. It's just because I'm a tall dude and I sit high in my chair. So, yeah, exactly. This is the reason why. A lot of people ask me all the time, like, oh, you really like white? People are teasing me in comments, and I always talk about getting white speakers and white this and that. And I mean, yeah, my preamp is not in white, but, you can't have everything in that color. Black is the majority of those, that gear. Most of the stuff comes in black, mostly because it's easier to manufacture that way. Keeping anything white clean, it's like, never mind. I'm not going to say it. I was going to go somewhere with, those who wear white, blah, blah, blah. You guys can fill in the blanks. But yeah, it's prestigious. So, but I have another reason, and True Voice of Reason knows. I think most people have been here long enough now know why the room is white as a tribute, and it's for my mom that passed. It's how her room was set up, her bedroom, the house, the decoration, the contrasting, all that. That's the reason. So Bryson come in white, but I've not seen anyone with that color. They have silver face plates, but I don't think the rest of the heat sinks would still be black, but the faceplate would be silver. It said, but white after Labor Day. Yeah, but I'm not American, so that doesn't apply. And my mom was a rebel, so that's how that works. Anyways, it's over an hour. I do appreciate everybody coming here. I hope that everybody got something kind of valuable or at least encouraging about Capital Audiofest 2025. I wish all my friends well. I wish all the vendors well. I hope that everything goes well. I hope those that are flying in there have no trouble. Faceplate does come in white. Yeah, absolutely. They've got a really nice sort of smooth finish on their faceplates too. I appreciate that for Bryson. So I do appreciate, I do wish all of my friends that are going to Capital a good trip. a safe trip, an uninterrupted trip. Hopefully everybody gets in and out of there and we don't get a lot of, inclement weather over the next couple of days. I think that it's changing well enough that it's going to warm up and things will be calm. But to all of my friends that have watched, thank you for being here and supporting. I know that you're normally supposed to ask to like and subscribe and all that stuff at the beginning, but you know what? If I hadn't earned it by now, what's the point in my reminding people or telling people to do it? You don't have to. But if it's worth something to you, then that's the way to show support. I will be back maybe Thursday. Depends if what time the R11s come in and if I'm going to unbox them or if I'm just going to leave them boxed because I still have to deal with the Macarias and the Mako speakers over the weekend. Might be easier just to leave them boxed, but hopefully they'll be here Thursday and then I can do a live on Thursday night. We'll see what happens. Friday and Saturday as well. Saturday might be really crazy with all the setup, but hopefully by that time in the afternoon, I'll be able to go live again. We'll see what the Mako people, what Armando feels at that time. I know that he's recovering from an injury, an accident. So hopefully he won't exert too much energy trying to do this stuff. Very grateful for them for even considering lending me those. It's pretty wild stuff. But again, that's another brand that's only 20 minutes away from me. Amazing, all right? Amazing that the almost 45-year-old brand Paradigm and Anthem are 20 minutes down the road. They won't lend me anything. And Mako, I see them twice at shows and they're sending me a whole system that's like $30,000 or something like that. Just saying. I'm just saying. Let that sit as it is. All right. I'll see everybody in the next video. Keep tabs, subscriber notifications if you want to keep up with everything else. Facebook has got all my photos from past shows. Check out my profile. The name is there. You'll find me. Instagram's got a bunch of other funny stuff if you're into just joking around and having fun. Instagram's a little less audio focused. Is what it is. You'll find it when you get there. And yeah, I'll see everybody in the next little while, the next couple of videos. Thursday maybe, Friday, Saturday, maybe put notes in my socials. But I'll see you in the next videos. Cool? Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next